I'm having a retreat called Mind Body Biz. I'm partnering with a powerhouse chick. She is the keynote for Tony Robbins, advice on how to promote.
What's her
Well,
name?
I would think she would know how to promote that herself. The one that's connected to Tony Robbins. But yeah, she's the advice on how to promote.
Who is it?
Who is it? Jennifer?
Well, the easiest way, if you have a big name person, is to target their audience. So you're, I'm gonna die. Yep. So you look at their audience. Where's their biggest version of it? It's probably Instagram, but it may be Facebook, it may be YouTube. And then ideally, you can have her make a quick little video message. Hi, I'm going to be speaking at this retreat for women where we're going to talk about X, Y, Z. And then you target her, people who follow her, because they already know her. That's usually the easiest way. If she's willing, she doesn't have to. If she's not willing, you can still target the audience and just make a picture.
Yeah.
You can ask her if she'd be willing to do a mailing if she has an email list, or to share it to her social accounts. And then any groups that you're part of, obviously your list, but any groups that you're part of, mommy groups, women groups, entrepreneur groups. But usually you use a speaker, like the event that I spoke at in air quotes in South Africa. That's all they do, right? They get big name speakers, Les Brown and Jack Canfield and all these people, and then just promote to their audience that they're going to be speaking there. Well known or has a Facebook page with an audience or Instagram page with an audience. You, again, same thing. Run an ad, target their audience. If they're willing to make the video or post, video is better, then that's what you run as the ad, and you can get some pretty good conversions off of that. If they're not super well known and you still want to try running an ad, then you target other people. So, inside the tapping world, you're looking at the Ortners, right? The Ortners have the biggest tapping group in the world. So you're targeting them. You're targeting the tapping solution. You're targeting, I don't know if they have individual pages for themselves, but that's who you target. And so then the ad becomes, hey, if you want to learn tapping, come to this retreat where you get to meet people like this. But it's not as focused on the person because they don't know that person.
She said she was the apprentice for the author of Four Agreements and the National Geographic photographer. So it's in the works. And she is also, so they want to know, okay, so she's confirming. I think the answer is yes, but okay, so utilize our speakers and run ads to their audience. Okay, cool, good advice.
Right. So you got two options, right? Like the fact that she was a runner-up for the Apprentice or whatever, that helps with branding for promoting the event. If somebody hits the website and they say, "Oh, who are these people?" Like, "Oh, she's done all this stuff," right? That helps with just the branding and the conversion. It doesn't help you generate leads. It doesn't help people get to the page. So that's where hopefully they have some kind of following that then you can tap into. But that's exciting. I love seeing you stepping up and making all these events. And what about the was it the Grammys? There was
Oscars.
What?
I think it's Oscars.
The Oscars?
Yeah.
I thought it was the Grammys, but it could be. What happened with the bag? Weren't you going to do bags?
Yeah.
We talked about the packaging for it.
That's right. Yeah. So she has the Oscars next week. No, that was for the Golden Globes, I guess. The Golden Globes. I like boxing gloves.
Are you Oscars next week? It's exciting. Holy cow. That's big news.
So she already did the Golden Globes, so I guess that was for the Golden Globes, the other one. And then Oscars. Now I was invited for the Oscars bag.
Okay. So are you ready? You excited? You know what you're doing?
Maybe I read it wrong. So, but she said that she worked for the author of Four Agreements. Yeah, she was the apprentice for the author of the Four Agreements.
Oh, that's fine. So I mean, same thing. There are some things that would be credibility factors, like, oh, that's who's coming. That's really cool. I'm looking forward to meeting them. And some things will actually be lead gen because they have an audience.
Yeah. She said, yes, Oscar's coming up. What's your advice?
Well, last time we talked about the story. That's why we went so deep on the story. And then we talked about your actual box and putting the messaging on the box, right? Did you figure that out? Did you get the box down?
And the messaging, yeah. Okay, so she's saying, at least she's honest. She says, I'm really not super excited because I'm not starstruck. I don't know who these celebrities are, but I see business value.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be about, oh my gosh, there's Jennifer Lopez or whoever.
Or Aniston or whoever, yeah.
It's a great chance to get your product into more people's hands.
Business opportunity, yeah. Yes, sir. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, it's exciting. I still want to see the video. Let's go, Jennifer.
Hey, I just got an idea. I mean, I'm just gonna throw something out there. So this may be totally off target, but since she's gonna have access to so many different celebrities at the Oscars, wouldn't it be to her advantage to know who the people that's gonna be showing up and have a little bit of background on them, so when she does meet them, she said, "Hey, I love your last show, and I love what you got coming up, and I'm happy for your nomination. This could be your third." Would it create a little bit more of a better first impression and relationship and connection, because you did a little bit of your homework in advance on who's going to be there? So when you have that conversation, it could be a short conversation that could turn into a long conversation, because you're tapping into some things about their history and past that other people are like, "Hey, how are you doing?" But you're giving more context to the conversation.
Having context always helps. You don't have to have like a prepared, okay, this is exactly how it, like not have it so structured that then it's not organic and it doesn't flow and you're not connecting with them. But having context helps. Having context always helps. Like if you knew that they were a mom versus not a mom, that could help you in the conversation. I know if she wants to put in the extra work. Like when I interviewed whoever, Deepak or Matthew McConaughey or whoever, I want to know a little bit about what they're promoting and what their message is and what we're going to talk about. But then inside of that, it's still a very loose, pretty flexible discussion. So, yeah, having extra context can be.
I was just wondering because I know, back in my DJ days, especially when I did corporations, I would actually do research on a corporation. Like, I remember I did one for Hair Club for Men. And because I went back and looked at the beginnings into where they're at now, in the information, it shows, they were sold to a Japanese company, and now that person's a CEO, or that person's a VP, and that person's going to be here in Vegas at the event. So then when I'm meeting with them and I'm just having just a conversation about what's going on, when I'm able to give them that background information, like, who is that? How we got to book him for the next 3 events now, all because you're not just showing up playing music. You've invested. They feel like you invested in their company. You know their credo. You know their tagline. You know their logo, and you know more information. They feel like I was part of the company. So they said, okay, we want this guy here for the next 2 or 3 events. We're going to do it in Vegas. And other DJs, when I mentioned that to them, like, dude, that's stupid. Why would you spend extra time learning about a company? Just go there and do the gig, play music, go home. I'm like, no, but it meant more to me. I really care about my clients and my customers. And I don't know. I just thought it made it. I don't know. I just believe in relationships.
Another easy hack for that is go. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go look at their Instagram and just find their most recent personal post. And they may not have one. They may not share anything personal. They may not. And it doesn't mean like, hey, I saw you post this picture of your son yesterday, right? but it just gives you a window into the kind of person that they are, and gives just more context. I like context. You know, it gives you context. Yeah. So when I interviewed Deepak, he posted one of his recent posts was about Fitbit, and he wore the Fitbit watch. I'm like, Deepak wears a Fitbit watch? That's cool, because I use Fitbit, right? I use Fitbit. What's he posting about Fitbit? That's pretty cool. So in our interview, we talked about Fitbit and what he uses it for and why and all that. And otherwise, I wasn't planning on talking to him about Fitbit, and I wouldn't have ever assumed that he knew anything about Fitbit. But because he used Fitbit and I used Fitbit, it became a point of connection for us. So that's where it can be valuable. Context.
Yeah. I again, like I said, to each his own. I don't know what's going on with with Jennifer, but the Nightbot is like timing you out and deleting a lot of your messages. I don't know what's going on.
She's either very happy with us or very not happy with us.
but you know, they talk about getting the edge sometimes, and sometimes that's the difference that makes the difference, because you care a little bit more than the next person. You're not just showing up for a paycheck. But again, to each his own. To each his own. But you know, a lot of times when I got constant recalls, it's because they felt like I knew them and they knew me, and it was more than somebody just pressing play and pressing music. They felt like we had a relationship, and they didn't want anybody else.
Here's a great example. Like when I interviewed Matthew McConaughey, right? That's somebody who would be at the Oscars. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be there. This year or not, but like that's the kind of A-lister that you want. I mean, maybe not you, but you want the women, but like that equivalent, right? I didn't watch all of his movies before the interview, right? I mean, I don't even remember the last Matthew McConaughey movie that I watched, and probably the last thing he wants to talk to me about is movies. And right. I mean, he's just been going through this giant interview spell. Probably if he's there at the show, you know. So I didn't talk about his movies really at all, except for the reason for him writing the book, which came in part because he had no movies coming out. The only time he talked about movies was how he didn't have any movies coming in, and he had to kind of find a new purpose in his life. So that I discovered by watching his interviews and looking at his Instagram. So I think that's where it could serve you. I don't think sitting there watching all of their old movies is really going to tell you much about the person, because they're being an actor, right? They're pretending to be somebody else. That's not who they are.
Okay, I'm trying to recover some of these deleted messages. Let me see if I can piece some things together. Okay. And let me know if I'm on or off. Okay, Jennifer.
Are we barking up the right or the wrong tree, Jennifer? Is it helpful or not helpful?
Right. So
thumbs up or thumbs down? Keep going or move on.
Yeah. So it's like yes, meeting Viola Davis and Andra Day. There was lots of nice people. I emailed a lady for the video, Evan. It says no. It said no, Zan. Okay. No, Zan. Like no, and it says Zan. Okay. Then I don't know what that shit tells us what it means. It says that's not me because, I just like to connect as humans and parents. I talked to Viola about motherhood. I didn't pretend to know about their movies. Yes, I looked up who was a parent, but not their movies. Yeah. I don't watch movies, so it's fun having no idea who these people are, and I like knowing I like not knowing in a weird way. Yes, can I understand I'm just stubborn and these celebrities roll up randomly and say, love you, Zan. Okay.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't think you have to go now watch all their movies and know all the plots. I think it's just caring about them as humans, knowing if they're a mom or not. Right. Maybe one of them contribute to some charity that deals with women or moms, right? Like if you know that Viola Davis is on the board of directors for some women's charity, chances are nobody else at that event is talking to her about that, because everybody's just talking about the movies. Yep. And you're there not just saying, "Oh, you were so great in that movie. What does it feel like to act with Denzel Washington?" Like stupid questions. You're saying, "Hey, I love the work you're doing with XYZ charity.
Or over in Africa, like, oh wow, and that could be her secret passion.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I like you. I want to talk to you more. Hey, I got some other celebrity friends. You come over here. You come over. You come over here. You don't have to go get them. She will get them for you. It's just, I don't know. It's worked wonders for me over the years.
You just may not know that they're doing it if you don't look it up.
Yeah.
So you're just trying to find a connection point.
It's better to know than not to know. You know, but to each his own. You know, because like I said, when I used to tell, when I used to be on stage, and I would at DJ conferences, and I was a speaker, and I would tell other DJs this, the feedback, like, dude, why are you doing all that? I'm like, okay, guys, I'm not gonna. Because I said, because it's a people business, that's why, and it's a relationship business, and your callback is right there in that room. But they wasn't hearing that. So to each his own. To each his own. I don't have to speak to them about that anymore. But they was wondering, how are you getting so many callbacks and so many referrals? I'm like, because it's a people business. It's more than just playing music. But you know, to each his own.
All right, so
I hope that serves you well. You know, just a different perspective.
let us know. Let us know.
Let us know, yes. Give us some feedback before Nightbot try to time you out again.